Hey guys, we're going to be continuing on this Monday Musing for this week, continuing on this theme of sustainability and consistency. I have a little concept that I've been using in different areas of my life, including chess training, to help me to avoid getting burned out with chess. And it's really helping me now as I'm trying to get more consistent with my training. So check it out. Hey guys. In today's video, continuing with our theme of sustainability and consistency, I want to introduce a concept to you that I first read about from James Clear, and I'll put a link to the original article down in the description below. But the idea is that if we want to sustain long-term growth, as we've been talking about, we have to modulate our effort over time. So if we take a look at this little chart here, this is kind of a curve here, and here's the increased effort, and you could say maybe the time you spend on things as well, and the sustainability. Okay, if you put too much effort in over a specific period of time, you're going to burn out. And if you don't do enough, well, you're just not going to make much progress. And so you have to find that sweet spot of long-term growth. As we talked about last time, developing consistency, it's good to start very easy. For example, like I mentioned, I do one endgame position a day from Delavia's 100 endgames you must know. And so I'm up to about 91 as of today out of the 344 positions in the Chessable ebook. But I've been doing it for the last couple weeks, and I actually found that, sometimes some of the positions are very easy. It only takes me a couple minutes. Now, the old school of thought might be, well, just do as many as you want to do. And there's definitely nothing wrong with that in general. But a couple things that I want you to think about with that is that not only, that philosophy of wanting to do as many as you want have a couple effects. First off, it is taking time away from maybe some of the other areas. The only reason I want to only do one per day is so that eventually I know that I'll finish it, but also knowing I can do one per day, I can spend the rest of my time maybe studying other areas of chess. So the concept that I want to introduce to you, besides that sweet spot, is that of an upper bound. Okay, so just to use the endgame training as an example, my minimum is one position per day. Okay, just make that black so you can read it. And in this particular case, I also set an upper bound. In fact, maybe this isn't the best example, but I can only do one position per day. Okay, so let's make a little green line here. And so that is the upper bound, or the maximum is one per day. Let me just stretch that out. Now, it doesn't always have to be equal. Okay, let me give you an example. Another area where I'm using this is with the number of games I play on the internet, specifically standard games or longer time control games, because each of these games could take 1 to 2 hours. So I do want to make sure that I'm practicing, because I don't play a lot of over-the-board tournaments per year. So I want to make sure I'm practicing at these longer time controls. So I do have a minimum of one game per week. Okay, and let me make this line a little bit thicker. Okay, so my minimum, one game per week. Okay, this could be on the Internet Chess Club, or on Lichess, or on chess.com, for example. Okay, but I've also set myself a upper bound. Okay, and the basic idea here is that I try not to play more than 3 long time control games per week. And there's a couple reasons for this. Partly because much of the benefit from these games, besides practicing your skills, is being able to analyze the games afterwards and seeing what mistakes you made and your thought process and those types of things. If I do more than 3 games per week, then it'll be very difficult to keep up with it with the amount of time that it takes to analyze a game. And some of that benefit can be lost. So my sweet spot for, at least for playing games, is 1 to 3. Because if I play less than 1 per game, then I'll get rusty. Okay? So this could be applied to many of your training activities, but the general idea is that a lot of people set minimums. You know, I want to do 1 position per day, I want to do 5 tactics per day, but what I'm suggesting to help you prevent burnout, like we saw in the earlier diagram, as well as to make sure that you have enough time in the different areas of chess, is to also set an upper bound. So for example, maybe for tactics, maybe your minimum is 5 per day. So on a busy day, you got to make sure you get 5 problems in, but maybe you set an upper bound to, say, 25 or 30 problems. I know that's a lot, but sometimes if you're doing quick problems. But the idea there is that if you get 30 tactics problems in, that's pretty good, and maybe you should, if you have some extra time, maybe you should look at an endgame book or practice your openings or something. Hey guys, just to sum up, besides having minimum activities for your training, it's often helpful to also have an upper bound, and this will help you to prevent getting burned out, as well as keeping balance between different areas of your chess. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out that article by James Clear that I'll put in the description below on upper bounds. And also, consider sharing this video, maybe on Twitter, so that other people can check it out as well. Also, if you didn't see last week's video, I'll put a link right there. It kind of leads in this whole concept of sustainability and consistency. So if you haven't seen that yet, definitely check it out, and I'll see you soon.